Hi everyone, Tiffany here, and welcome to my quilting life. So, I figured I would come on to just sew, because today's Monday mini madness. That's right, I'm sewing mini blocks. Little, itty, bitty mini blocks. They are literally 2-inch squares, 2 inch, 2 inch, 2 inch, that have been shrunk down now to 1.5 inch once they're finished. They're so whittle dinky. They are from my scraps. These are my little dinky blocks. Some of them are kind of wonky, but that's because they're so small that they're hard to cut. And so, but I like them. So some of you probably saw my post on my, in the group of what I'm doing. So, yeah, this is what I'm doing. And I'm calling it mini block madness because they are so many, they're so small, and I have all of them stacked and just right here to the side, which you can't see, obviously, and ready to sew. Trying to get things to work and stuff. So what I'm doing is I'm just taking, you can't see these obviously, well maybe you can, and I'm just laying them down in a 9-patch. My whites go on the outside, in the middle, and on the outside, and then my little itty bitty hourglasses go with the white down towards the middle, and then in the next row the white goes in towards the middle, white goes in towards the middle, and white goes up towards the top middle. That's all I'm doing, sewing these together. And then I sew them, because they're so tiny, I put them together in rows and then keep them together on the machine. So I put those 3 on and I start from the top and I just sew. That way I don't lose track of which piece goes where. And I still have a headache, not as bad as it was last night. A little bit of sleep helped ease it up a little. And I'm sewing scant 1/4-inch seams due to the fact that these are so small. I know everybody's at work today, so that's probably why nobody's on. So I just keep them lined up, hooked together, and sew my little seam. And I just finger press. The middle seams, or the top 2 seams I press out. The middle ones I press in. I'm pressing them all towards the white because it's such a bulky little seam. So I want to press it away from the bulk. This is all I'm doing. Lining them back up and sewing some more. Nesting my little itty bitty seams. They're kind of hard because they are very small. And using the cutter only because this is such a tiny little project. I don't want to stretch them out too much by pulling it away constantly. I just start the seam and go. I think I need to refresh this or something because it still says nobody's on. And then I just finger press these out. I kind of push these little itty bitty seams out of the way. They're kind of bulky but kind of not. And then there it is until I press it. They come out to be 5 inches. So I'm just making a need to press pile, and then I have my pressed pile, and then my big huge pile in front of me of what I need to sew. Again, I'm just laying them out in front of me and sewing. And then I just turn them right sides together. And then slide the other ones over and just keep going. I just hook them together. Try not to turn my pieces because they're so small and it's very easy to get them out of order. And they also stretch really easily. Hi, Tracy. I'm just making my little itty bitty 9 patches. They come out to be 5 inches. Because I'm making a mini quilt with my scraps. Lining up my little itty bitty seams. And then I kind of just press them back just a little. And with these little guys, not everything lines up because they're so tiny. Very, very, very tiny. And then I'm just making a big pile. Hi, Sonia. Alright, good. Here, I'll even tip the camera so you can see. That's my little pile that I'm working on. So that's what you see me grab from. Let's see if I can adjust this to where it stays just right. There we go. Let's see if I can line them up right here in front of me on how I do this. So I take and separate them like this. And then I take the whites and put them down on the top one. These are little 2-inch squares, so that's why they're so small. And I make sure that all my whites come in so that the two pieces are always out. Well, I have a headache. That's how my day is going so far. But it was the same as last night. It's just a little bit more eased up. So instead I decided to quilt. Or I should say piece, because it's the same thing. And then I lay them right sides together, like so, leaving these three up out of the way and start from the top. It's little itty bitty star 9 patches from my scraps. Those little scraps that you get when you snowball corners of strip piecing from strips. This is the little itty bitty pieces from that. And they're also getting a scant 1/4 inch because they're so small. And then I just finger press to the left, to the right, and to the left, just like you would any 9 patch, keeping them together. I'm not clipping them apart due to the fact that they are so small. I do not want to get them out of order. And I just pick them up, right sides together, and go. I'll bring this down so you can see what I'm making. Right sides together. Sorry, my phone's going off at the same time, and I try to keep on that at the same time today. While I'm home alone right now. The husband and Justin went to the store. And I figured I would just get some sewing done while they're gone. Doing guy stuff. And I'm doing my stuff. Which is guy or girl. Because guys can quilt too. And then I just like really push with my finger hard because I'm making an I need to press pile, which you can see to the side. Hi, Teresa. So here's another one. And again, I'm just throwing them in my I need to press pile. This is my pressed pile. But I'm going to have to scoot it over because that way I can see my little itty bitty blocks here. So again, I just lay them out like so, my little solids. And then I take my other ones and they get laid with the white towards the center. These are so little. Hi, Suburban Hillbilly. Have time to quilt again. It's been 3 years. Ah, just sit down at a machine and do it. In the evening, go out, blah, sit down and quilt or do something quilt related for like 15 minutes. These little itty bitty blocks right here, they don't take very long at all. You can make one a day and bam, be done. In 15 minutes a day, you can get a quilt done every other month. Just sit down and do it. So again, I'm just finger pressing right here, being very super careful. And I just bring the next one up, making sure none of these get turned on my way because I keep hitting them. Right sides together, and I'm sewing that scant 1/4 inch only because these are so small and I want them to line up just right because they're tiny. I'm trying not to lose too much of the block. And when I say scant 1/4 inch, that means like I don't know, like a little bit to the side. So if you're sewing your 1/4 inch, I'm going inside that 1/4 inch, just a little bit, not much, just a little, only because these are so tiny. And then I put them right sides together. I'm keeping everything together. This is how I keep from losing my blocks, by the way. Just I go like this, and put them right sides together, and keeping it together, lining up my ends, and sewing on down. My seams should mess up every time, because they just do. That's how it works. And just line up the ends.
Are you live?
Yes.
So, later. I love
Just
you.
close that. I love you. And they're back from the store. So what's everybody doing today? I'm sewing mini blocks. Mini block madness. Lots and lots of mini blocks. My needle to the right and use my 1/4 inch foot. Yeah, I can't move the needle on this only because it's a single needle hole. But on the Brother I can. For that one I do that. I move the needle over on the Brother. And this one, it's kind of light. This one is a light color, but you can still see it. Cleaning your sewing room, Teresa. How fun. I'm going to grab a next one. Again. I just lay them out like this. Lay the next ones with the white on the inside. These are little hourglass blocks. I'm making 42 blocks. And I kind of know what I'm doing for my layout. I laid them, a couple of them out, and I'm 100% sure I'm going to set these on point instead of doing mini sashing, because I was kind of thinking on doing super mini sashing in between. But instead I'm going to put them on point with a different color block, a solid block to go in between everything. I think that will look super cool. And then making a piano key border with the other straps that I have for this project. Hi Diane, hi Lisa. I'm just making my little mini blocks, as you can see. They're little itty bitty 5-inch blocks. I had to do something productive to not think about being in pain today. So I figured I would come on so you guys could watch me, since I posted in the middle of the night one block I did. Figured I would get on so you guys can watch how I put these little guys together and how fast they really go together. And when I'm not talking, they go together faster, or pausing, because I do pause a lot when I'm on live. Hi Vicky, you found it, did ya? Aye, don't chew your nails, Teresa. Stop doing that. I don't chew mine anymore. I used to when I was young with anxiety and pain, but now I don't. Now I do this. And I don't chew my nails anymore. And usually I don't use my thread cutter this much, but like I said, these blocks are super duper duper little, and if every time I pull them away, I stretch them. So I'm trying not to pull them away and cut thread. Instead, I'm just cutting the thread in the machine so that I can move them easier. And I just line these little ends up. Some of them kind of get a little wonky because they're so small. Listening and walking the dogs one at a time. Serious coyote and fox problem. So you have to take your dogs for a walk when there's no coyotes and foxes out. So here's another little guy. Again, these are 5-inch finished blocks. Well, they're 4.5-inch finished. They're 5-inch right now, unfinished. I have a lot more to make. But as long as I just keep on track, I can make all of them pretty quickly. Alright, so I just lay them right sides together like this. Start from the top and make my way down. Remembering that I always sew the right side. Keep them all together. Don't flip or turn anything. And this is the stuff you can make out of the little bitty scraps. I've made tons of scrap stuff. I love using my scraps from my, anything, any snowball block that has scraps or anything. I always use up my little scraps, as you can tell. I mean, I have to add stuff to it, but I mainly use the scraps for the most part. These are all scraps because these were leftover. The whites was leftover cuts from something that I cut wrong on a bigger quilt. So obviously I'm using it all up. They're so tiny. And this block can be made out of any size, as long as all three, so you can do this out of 5-inch squares or bigger, as long as you're making hourglasses, or you can do it out of smaller squares like I'm doing, as long as all 9 squares match up in the end. Protection with you so far. We got this over 200 inches of snow and it's not done. Stinks to have half-acre fenced and they can't go out on off the leash. That sucks. Coyotes all day and night. No fear of humans. Just scared one last night out of the front yard. So, Suburban Hillbilly, do you where do you live at to have coyotes all the time and foxes? Break Ricky, do you have to SUV snowplow? I would be carrying Georgia. I didn't know they had coyotes, and we have coyotes like crazy here. This town has a severe coyote problem, and the coyotes eat the little dogs around here. Most people that have little dogs have electric fences because they don't want their little dogs being eaten. But almost every night, you can hear coyotes eating something. They start barking and going crazy around, I don't know, 2 or 3 in the morning, and that's when there's little coyotes going crazy. I always check to make sure my orientation is right. I want my whites. These are little stars, so I need all my whites to point in towards the center. So I just do this, though, and just start from here so that they stay together. Coyotes in your Texas hometown, Tracy. I guess there's coyotes everywhere. I didn't think they were as crazy though in other places like they are here. We get skunks here too. Skunks are stinky. And you know when a coyote is eating a skunk. Because it stinks. So again, I just finger press everything to the white. I know most people press to dark, but there's no way to do that with these little dinky blocks. Yep, they eat everything. Coyotes are scavengers. We get them to where they just walk down the middle of the street during the day. It's pretty crazy, especially my street because there's a wash right behind us, so they walk past. So like I said, I keep them together so that I don't lose the order or orientation of my blocks. And they line up really nicely. That doesn't mean that the little points are going to line up because they are super small, but they don't have to be perfect because this ain't for anybody but me. It's going to probably go on my wall. As long as it gets finished, unlike the one that you see right here, that unfinished one. I need to take that out and quilt it. No coyotes there in Charlotte. Huh. There's another one. I like this one because it looks like little honeycombs. I don't know if you can tell the fabric, but it looks like honeycombs. Pretty cool. And then once I get a really, really big stack, I take them over and press them. I just, because I finger pushed these little corners out, I just lay the iron on top of it. And then I'll move it around a little bit. But I'll show you in a minute. Let me just finish a couple more. At least this whole stack right here. I got the window open so I can see all the cars and stuff driving by. Well, not all of them because there's barely any, but one just drove by. There's like thread everywhere too because I had to cut all this stuff down. Hi, Sandy. Having trouble getting Wi-Fi. Did you get one of those things, Sandy? The little extenders? Trying to line all these little guys up. They're so small. I'm also trying to keep seams from flipping because when these seams flip, it kind of sucks because it makes such a bulky seam. These are so small. I'm okay. My head still hurts from yesterday. It hasn't gone away too much. Just a little. Sleeping kind of helped. I got a little bit of sleep this morning. But I figured to keep myself busy, because I need to be awake, I can't sleep all day. Keep myself busy, I'm just going to make my little blocks, because I started one this morning at like, I don't know, 4:45, 5 in the morning, somewhere around there. And I posted it, and I was like, well, yeah, maybe I'll just make a video. today while doing it, you know, so that you guys can see me make my little itty bitty blocks. I mean, they're not too little bitty. I wouldn't do anything smaller than this. These are like pushing it. Usually I cut that quarter square triangles down to 2.5, but these ones didn't even make the cut for a 2 1/4. They were really close. So they were super duper small. Yes, I got my feet on. Let's see if I can show you. Right here. And I got my under socks on too. But I'm wearing my booties. They're super comfy. Ugh. I love my booties, Vicky. Love my booties. I gotta keep warm somehow. And it's not like you can see my sleeves are half sleeves. So obviously I'm not like super freezing, but my feet and my hands are, and I can't wear gloves while sewing, unfortunately, so. I mean, I could probably, but that's probably a hassle. But my feet need to be covered, especially since I'm sitting in a chair where my feet hang off. They're on a stool below me, but with my feet hanging off, the circulation even gets worse, so they feel colder than they really are. So I have a quilt top that is beautiful, but I've sewed some of the seams in the wrong direction. I have several layers in places. I don't want to take it apart. Any suggestions? Quilt it. Just quilt it. Quilt it, quilt it, quilt it. Just get, it doesn't matter if you're, I mean, like, are you talking about the seam, like if it's like pushed the wrong way accidentally and you can see it from underneath? Is that what you're meaning? I mean, I wouldn't take it apart. I would just do it. If it's finished and the top is together, I would just quilt it. That's, if it's beautiful and you like the way it looks, just put it together. Get it done. Like I said, you just have to, if you don't have time, 15 minutes a day. Just take 15, the time it takes to take and unmake or make your bed, screw the making the bed, and sit down and sew. 15 minutes a day, and just get it done, you know? That way you're at least accomplishing something and you're finding the time every day to do it. I mean, not everybody has a bunch of time every day, but I mean, there's got to be something that you can stop doing every day and take the time. If you love quilting, take the time and stop doing the other thing and quilt. So instead of sitting down and reading your favorite book on your iPad, sit down and quilt, you know, instead. You don't need much time every day, just a little bit a day, and it will get done pretty quick. You'd be surprised how much you get done in just a small period of time. Alright, I gotta take that seam apart because it shifted while I was sewing it. That was very odd. Like, these are so small. So small. I'm afraid to pick them. That's how small they are, because I don't want to take them out of place. Sometimes this happens, but it shifted really bad. And I was holding it too. Oh, you guys are typing too fast for me now. Good. Billy just quilted up. Yeah, exactly. This thing has to have web browser, and I'm not sure. Okay, let's see, back. Can't sit for long. Chair, hurt your back. Lisa thinks I'm afraid I'll break my machine. Don't break your machine. You won't break it. Put some heat on it. Looks great, but still, what kind of machine do you have? Vicky has cream from the doctor. Use heating pad. Yes, do that. Lisa, just a domestic baby lock. Other than it's fine. That's a good. Vicky, I have dust floating. I think it should be. Sorry, I can't. It's hard to read from this far. So if It looks like I'm like struggling here. I'm really not. I mean, I really am, but not. Should probably be okay. Just go. Yeah, go slow over the seams. You could also press them again, like press the whole quilt really good. You know, water it down with a spray bottle, and then shoot it with some really good steam. Just go over the whole thing with some steam. I'm pretty sure it would lay really flat, and it'd make it a lot easier to quilt it. Let me finish picking these seams out. I had to scroll on the thing though. Okay, let's see. Okay. I'm gonna make sure I pull all these little threads out, because if I don't, they're gonna get tangled up in the seam. And I don't want that with these little bitty blocks. So I'm gonna reline this little guy back up. There we go. No shifting now. That's a good idea. Sit in the chair and bring your machine to you. That's what's cool about the little portable table that my daughter got me. That thing can go anywhere. So for those of you who need to sit in certain chairs or something because of pain, look online and try to find yourself a little portable sewing table that any machine should fit in. I just saw another one locally online, so I mean, they can't be too hard to find. I wouldn't suggest quilting or putting a machine on a TV tray, like a. I've seen people turn the little TV trays into ironing board, you know, that they could keep next to them and it's portable. But I wouldn't suggest putting a machine on that. So, but yeah, try to find a little portable table online and just bring the table and sewing machine to you. And if you can't pick it up and bring it to you, have someone do it for you. That should help. That way you guys can still sit in your favorite chairs and sew. I thought I would like sitting up in this chair, honestly, but I think I'd rather stand sometimes because this chair, with my legs having to hang down the way they do, it's kind of awkward. But when I'm sitting in a regular chair too, my feet don't touch the ground like you would think because I'm short. So there's another one. This one lined up really good. So this one's seams came really close. So, alright, let's do another one and then I'll press them. I gotta go turn the iron on though real quick so that I can press them. Let me put this down real quick and lay it out and go turn the iron on. Let's see. Wow, you guys typed too fast again. Alright, let's see. In the corner with the kitchen chair, have no room. These little tables, there's a place to find room for these little tables. They are not even 3 feet by 2 feet. They are so tiny. Let's see. Sit in an easy chair, bring machine in the corner. Okay, where? I'm scrolling too fast. Babysitting is the sweetest. Babysitting is the sweetest little miniature poodle. You're babysitting the sweetest little miniature poodle, and he's asleep right now. Have burgers ready to go on the grill. Sounds good. Sounds like fun watching the little poodle. Take it to the living room. Do you have a Facebook group? Are you talking to me, Suburban? Yeah, I have a Facebook group. It's in the description below. At least it should be. Let me see. Yep, it's in the description below. That's where it is. Sounds good. Being bliss, small house. It's at least 4 men. I can't complain. Are you alright? Let's see. What is the name of the quilt I am doing? I'm just making my own little itty bitty star blocks. I don't have a name for them, and I just know from seeing them online that this is how they're made, so. Except, I think they're bigger. I don't think they're this tiny. Because they're like 5 inch. They come out, this part comes out to be 5 inches. So I'm just making 42 of them. For a mini quilt, except I'm not going to make them as the mini quilt. I'm going to enlarge it by setting them on point. I think I came to that decision in the middle of the night. After sewing some pieces together, the one block that I had sewn, I was like, I don't know if I want to lay these side to side to side. I think I want to put them on point and put another different block in the middle, in between every block. So we'll see how I end up doing it. I change my mind so often. And I never stick with easy. I'm always like going the complicated route. Working on a swoon quilt as well as All Is Well in My World. What's a swoon quilt? You'll have to share pictures with me in the group. Here, I'll lay them all on point in a second. Let me get some pressed and then I'll lay some of them out so you guys can see. I'm going to get this last one sewn because I turned the iron on so I can press them. I'm just trying to keep them all lined up. They're so tiny. Usually I make really big blocks out of the little blocks, but this time I'm making little blocks out of little blocks. But nothing has gone to waste, that's for sure. I'm using everything up, which is a positive. Alright, so I'm just going to push these little guys down. I have 24 blocks left to make, so let's go over and press these. So again, all I did was push those seams down, and I'm just going to lay it right here, and I'm going to place the iron on top. And I'm just going to hold it here for a second, let it make a little steam on its own, and then once it's done that, I will turn it a few times, add a little bit of steam, and move it around, and then be done. So again, I'm just leaving it the way it came off the machine after I pushed those little corners down. I just move it around a little. I'm trying to keep them from bowing at all because they are so small and everything is on the bias. They are definitely tiny little blocks, and I can't really. Swoon block by Thimble Blossoms. I'll have to look it up. You can still share pictures in the group though. I like seeing what you guys are doing. It really makes me happy to see what you guys make. And I draw a lot of inspiration from what I see out there, just like you guys do from watching me. So you'd be surprised how many things I think of just by looking at somebody else's stuff. and I create my own stuff subconsciously and don't even know it until I create it. I try to do more than one. I don't have no water in my iron. So steaming is out of play. Sort of, kind of trying to. It's making little itty bitty 5-inch blocks. I need some steam in that one. Some of these blocks need steam because they're so small. Aha! So much better. So much better. It's going to be fun to quilt too, because this is so small. Like, where do you go, what do you do when you're quilting stuff this tiny? Okay. Alright, so I'm going to lay some out for you guys to see.
Let's see, hold on, see, yeah, I do a little bit of everything, probably I'm supposed to teach it. Oh, okay. So if I did them all on point, this is what we would have. Come down just a little, and over just a little. Just lay them all out, mix them up. We're going to pretend that I block to lay in here. Because I really don't. Not yet, at least. I'm thinking of a gray or a black. I'm not sure yet, though. I'm going to pull something out of a box real quick and see if I have a solid to get a better idea. Just for video's sake. Just for video's sake, I'm going to lay some blocks in here. Just so you guys can get the general idea. These are my pre-cuts. But imagine it black or gray, obviously. I don't really care for this green with all these colors. Or turquoise or whatever color this is. I don't even think these are 5-inch blocks. I think I'm pulling from a 6 block. Or 5.5. So wouldn't this look awesome, though? on point instead. I like that. Ta-da! And then obviously there'll be edge pieces, corners, like so. Those would be half square triangles though, but I think it looks so awesome. On point. Let me pick up the camera and try to hold it still. So that's what I'm hoping for, something like that. But instead of this turquoise, using a black or gray, or I don't know, something that'll go with these colors, because there's a lot of gray, white, and so on. So, but this will be cool. I didn't want to stick them all together because I think it would look weird. Red sounds good too, yeah. But this is what I'm doing, guys. Go up just a little. I don't know if I have any red cuts actually to even test that theory. Nope, nope, and nope. Oh, is that red? Found some red. Let's see what red looks like. Just because, for sake of video. Let me tip that down so I can use red and see what red looks like. I'll clean all this mess up later, obviously. Get that out of the way. So let's try red. I think red might be kind of too much. I don't know though. You guys could tell me what you think. You could also, if you're watching this later, leave it in the comments below what you think color, or what color you would want to use. If you were to do this, what color would you use with everything that's black, white, and gray? That's what all these colors are. It's all blacks, whites, and grays. So, this is what it would look like. Red. Let me adjust it so you can see better. So you guys like the red? Well, it looks like you guys like the red. But I'm still going to ask. Comment below in the comment section, if you're watching this later, what colors would you like? What colors would you put with this if this is what you were making? See, if I was to do the black, I kind of like the black, so say that was black instead. But then there's other colors like the turquoise, obviously, and then there's gray, and then like, let's see if I can get this out of here. I have the light gray, like so. You know what I mean? And then obviously we had the turquoise, which kind of looks okay, but kind of doesn't. I don't know. It's one of those things. There's millions of colors, obviously. I mean, I could even do pink if I wanted. I'm not sure I would, though. Like, here's pink. Nope, pink is too bold. Not like the bold that I want. But yeah. The red is your favorite. I like the red. I like the red. I like the red. You guys all like the red. So I'm pretty sure red is going to be the color that I choose then. Because you guys all think it's awesome too. So That means I have to go shopping because I don't have any more red. This isn't going to be enough of these little blocks because these are on my little pre-cuts. There will not be enough of these, unfortunately. That's okay. I can just go buy some today at Walmart because I don't need to go anywhere else but Walmart. So yeah, you guys like it with that red. That looks really nice though. I mean, I like it with the red too, obviously. It's very bold. And I don't want to mix colors. I just want one solid color. That way I can quilt something cool in all these spots. You know what I mean? In all the blankness. Because it's also getting a border with the, it's going to have a piano key border with all these. So all these are going to go, these are so small, like super small. Like I'm trying to keep everything super small. All these will go next to each other like so. And then I'll slice it down and do a piano key border all the way around. You like the black too, Suburban? Black makes it stand out more, red washes it out. I could alternate with black and red. I don't know, we'll see. Because I'm adding these, the piano key border with this stuff, you know, so it'll be like this, obviously all the way around. And then it'll get one last border of whatever color is my main focal color, you know what I mean? I guess it's one of those things. Comment below, we'll see. Majority will be the one that I choose. We'll see. So, but there's the general idea of what I am working on. So far, it's a lot going on. Little itty bitty 24 left to make. And then I can be done with yet another little project in between all the other projects because there's so many going on. Like I kind of just keep myself super busy with quilts, as you guys know. I'm always making something. But all my pieces are pre-cut and ready to go for the blocks itself. So I don't really have much to do there besides keep making them because it's all right here on the side in my pile. That's what I'm doing. And if I cut some more 5-inch squares, I can cut more 5-inch squares of a different color if I have to. If it doesn't work, and use the 5-inch squares for something else. So, I mean, if I didn't like a color when I lay it out, but I'll use all these colors for the idea of it, you know. Sorry, I'm trying to clean this up now. Put all these pieces away. And then I'll play with more later, obviously. That's why I'm glad I have all my little pre-cuts here. And I don't even have to use a solid either. Like, I actually have, I gotta show you guys this. Here was another idea I had. I actually have 10-inch squares that are left over from when I made the bigger quilt. I don't know if you guys remember that big, huge quilt that I made. But I actually have leftover 10-inch squares. I have 10 of this print, 10 of this print, and 10 of this print. But I don't know if all 10 are going to fit with 4, you know what I mean? I have to swap them around. But I also have these that I can chop up and move them around with it as my solids. You know what I mean? So here, let me separate them so you can see. So I have these 3 colors. These are the ones I didn't use when I made that big, huge quilt. So these are what I have, and if I was to stick these, let's try to put one here, and then one here, one here, and then one here, so that you get the general idea, obviously. So I mean, I could do that. And just move them around. So, and I could just chop them up and try to make it equal through the whole thing, and then add the rest of all this, whatever's left over from the cuts, to a piano key border or something with that, you know what I mean, with the piano key border. I totally just thought about this right now. I forgot that I stuck these aside. Not to know what you like best. I mean, I could throw in solid black, solid gray, and just scrappy it out as well, you know, mixed with all of it. So I could have some catty corner pieces on point, obviously going with these, and then some going with the solid gray, some going with the solid black. I don't know. It's one of those things. Many, many options. So I'll just leave that like that and turn this up. Ah. All right. So yeah, this is what I'm doing. I'm making things, creating. I got 24 blocks to make. 24 more. But I'm going to take a break. So I just wanted to show you guys what I'm working on, and you guys are great with helping me. I didn't even think. I was like, wait a second, I still have those blocks left over. I have 30 of them. I could work some magic with those too. Hi, Billy. So, all right, well, I'm going to get going. Again, thank you all for joining me. Like my video, subscribe if you're new, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your Monday and start of your week, and don't work too hard. Don't work too hard. Don't work too hard. Get some quilting done for those of you who have quilts to work on. Get it done. 15 minutes a day. That's all you need. I've been in here for, I don't know, 2 hours. And this is all I've done so far is this many blocks. So, and just the decisions. The decisions. So, I hope you guys have a great day, and I'm going to sign off now. Bye. Oh, duh, I got to go that way. I'm not on the big screen. I just had a brain fart.